What is up, everybody? It's me, Scott, also known as the Wolf of Wall Streets by people like myself, who gave myself once upon the name the Wolf of Wall Streets. It is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my second live stream of the day. I did one at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning about crypto in India. It was really, really enlightening. So if you guys missed that, you should go back and watch that. That's with Niraj Khandelwal, the CEO of CoinDSX. CDX, something X, just kidding. The largest exchange in India, and man, he had a lot of insight. But I think the kicker on the bottom line was no ban of crypto in India. That's not going to happen. And I thought that was really enlightening from somebody who is on the ground and is arguably the best source to discuss crypto in India. But here we are again. Now we're going to do charts and stuff. I also put out a video about like an hour and a half ago. You guys can watch my Bitcoin analysis there and all of my thoughts on the news. Now, let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. That's right. Speaking of the Wild West, which you just said, they just announced, let me see if I can find it. 1 second. I guess we can talk some quick news here. Pulled it up. Should be there. I got something stuck in my teeth. Sorry. SEC has no plans to regulate Bitcoin in 2021. I just tweeted. The West shall remain wild for yet one more year. Pretty cool. And pretty surprising, like all this Gary Gensler, head of the SEC talk, all this Elizabeth Warren talk. She's just out here just like spouting off just complete garbage, nonsense, hot air about Bitcoin. And it's not even on the agenda. Not even on the agenda. So I guess this year we'll just pay our exorbitant, insane, and ridiculous taxes once again and wait for them to give us some clarity and care about our beloved little assets. But I would have thought they would like come after Elon Musk or do something. I mean, do something. There were some other news stories that I had pulled up here. Let me see. Goldman expanding into crypto trading with plans for Ether options. No surprises here. Beyond the world of Bitcoin and right into Ethereum. Goldman Sachs, the big banks, dude, they're not scared of a little retrace. This one's hilarious. Obscure cryptocurrency sees 75,224% increase in trading volume because of Elon Musk. Why? Because Elon Musk apparently mentioned Uranus. After tweeting a fun fact about Uranus orbiting the sun once every 84 years, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has pushed the price of a tiny cryptocurrency of the same name by over 50%. Elon Musk, who is known for literally owning a company that puts people in space, mentioned something in space, and idiot crypto traders bought a coin as a result. Dumb. Then finally, MicroStrategy completes $500 million offering. Dude, as I've said a million times, we literally have the ability right now to front run institutions for the first time ever. And this was announced right around when price dipped down to like 30 something. And I kept saying, guys, Michael Thaler, he's about to buy $500 million worth of Bitcoin. People tried to give him 1.6 billion. He was raising 400. People want those junk bonds, those junky, disgusting, delicious junk bonds that he's offering. But yeah. Maybe he just bought today, or maybe that's why we went from like 38 to 40, but they closed around 500 million on that secured note, junky bond. And either just now or now he will be buying Bitcoin. And you've had all weekend to buy before you knew that 500 million was coming in. I consider that pretty sweet opportunity. So I'm reading what you guys got going on over here. They'll wait for an election year. I don't know about that. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, good of you people to be here spending this time with me. I just accidentally turned on the YouTube and I heard myself talking and it kind of tripped me out. So let's take a look at, let's see, why are bullish divergence measured from the bottom and bearish from the top? Just how it works, bro. Because at the top, you're worried about selling, and at the bottom, you're worried about buying. That's it. Real simple. Believe it, it will take a couple weeks utilizing dollar cost averaging. Yeah, you should always be using dollar cost averaging, and then the price doesn't even matter at all. Not even a little bit. Bears climb trees. Sometimes we're actually since I'm doing 2 live streams today, I've decided to have my second live stream just be about nature, a nature show. So listen, I figured we would just go through the top 10 crypto charts here, right? See what we got, maybe top 12 since USDC and USDT are in there. And then we can try to figure out what the hell going on. Bear woods. Yes. Does a bear shit in the woods? Yes. The answer is yes, by the way. They do. They just do. It's what happens. Did any of you guys watch the show Alone? I think it's on History Channel or something. I love that show. And they're like on a mountain with mad grizzly bears now. And they're just out there and they're just like grizzly bears sniffing up their underwear and food every single day. It's like, hey, I'm trying to sleep. And there's this grizzly bear up out here just trying to do bear things. If you don't watch that show, you should watch that show. Just leave these like 10 people out in the wilderness and whoever lasts the longest wins, and it's actually real. And not only that, they have to film the whole thing. So it's like survive in the wilderness, but also carry 65 pounds of camera equipment and be a professional filmographer the entire time that you're out there. Not something that I would want to do for any amount of money. I would last 2 hours and would ask, where's my shower and my steak? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, let's take a look at the Bitcoin really quick. I learned a very interesting lesson today. I tweeted a quote from R. Kelly, Ignition Remix. Now, usually I don't do this, but, you know, get a little taste of and instead of remix, I said retest. You don't quote R. Kelly on Twitter anymore. Okay, he is a pedophile, and that's bad. So I want to just put it out there that R. Kelly is bad, but until I knew R. Kelly was bad, the remix to Ignition was a fundamental part of my DJ life and life in general. But yeah, really quick, weekly chart, everything looks good. Holding all those fibs, inverted hammer, bigly weekly candle and moving, but still, man, until we're above this right here, we got nothing to talk about until we're above that 42K level. Nothing. Got to get back above that. That's really where everything flipped. But nice weekly candle structure. TV9, although you want it closing lower. Let's get on to the daily. You guys have probably seen my Bitcoin updates over and over, so, you know, not that interesting. Get that out of my tooth. So annoying. Should have lost. The death cross everyone's worrying about might not happen. Look, 50 MA is turning. If we stay up here, this will likely turn and head up, and it might not even happen. MACD looks good. We have a breakout here, but now, whether you believe in the death cross or not, the 200 MA clearly, and the 50 MA clearly, and this 42K level clearly are all resistance. There's a lot of resistance, guys. Too early to get super bullish. It's exciting to be back at 40 grand. Sweet, but too early to be bullish. And when you, but we are invalidating the hidden bear divs, which is nice. But you take a look at it on the 4 hour. We're not even to the range highs yet, right? Flip the EQ, that's great. Flip the 50, flipping the 200. Now this is nice on the 4 hour if you're an MA trader. And look, guys, a potential golden cross could happen if this keeps going up. For those of you who care, not named me. But yeah, so, you know, here's this key supply zone I've been talking about since last May that we've pushed into. We got to get above that. We ultimately need to get above this range, right? This was the low, the high after that low, swing low, and then we've never gotten back above that. Had this bullish SFP here, that slight little liquidity grab right there, moving up. Hugged 36K for a few days and moved up. So this is encouraging. This is a retest of Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body, got every minute sipping on coke and rum. I like so. Freaking weekend, baby. About to have me some fun. Can't quote R. Kelly anymore. It's sad. Like, what's the line? Like, I would like to know. So you can't do R. Kelly, obviously. Can you still talk about Michael Jackson? And if no, how about Chris Brown? Can we talk about him? I don't know. I really don't know. People are saying no volume. I wouldn't say no volume, but I would say low volume. I mean, you're never going to compare to this volume because this is the drop from 40 to 30 in like 4 hours or something, right? I mean, I guess it dropped from 38 to 30 in 4 hours. We're not going to see that volume again. But if you look back here, we do kind of have the same amount of volume we've generally had besides those spikes. So I wouldn't say volume's that low. And we have seen spikes, and the bigger candles here since the bottom are gray for me, but green. So I don't think that's that bad. Enough. I went through the whole cloud on Friday. I'm not going to do that again, but yeah, we did get above that cloud on the 4 hour, which I was talking about likely to happen. And the 6 hour now is well into the cloud and should go edge to edge, but that could go sideways edge to edge and not go higher. But if it does go to the top, we'll be looking at a 44,762-ish move. Now let's go into alts, because whatever, man. I know you're all a bunch of degens who want to just trade altcoins, right? Right, let's close all this news. My bad. I mean, this was a mega epic alt season of proportions like the past. Nice bounce. I mean, I would not be surprised. I don't want to say it, but that, we got down to about 39, that this would bounce back to 50. We've never kind of seen that 50% level retested from the bottom and then head back down, hopefully. But the scenarios for alts are not ideal still. And I've been saying this for a long time, because if Bitcoin goes up fast, we've seen what happens to alts. If Bitcoin goes down fast, we've seen what happens to alts. So maybe alts thrive if Bitcoin continues to range sideways, right? But for how long before Bitcoin is going to make a big volatile move? So I'm still very weary of altcoins here, but let's look at ETH. Bouncing today. I was talking about 0.065 as an entry. I guess it got down to 0.062, so about 5% below there. This doesn't look terrible, but I mean, that's aggressive sell-off. What you will like here, I don't call this an SFP. It's too close. These are 4 hour charts. This is too close, but this is sweeping these lows right here. So if it holds at 0.062,720, maybe you look for it to flip back above, and then you watch this level. If we're looking at super local, I mean, that's a key level. Look at that. All through here, right? All these candles. So yeah, 0.068. So what you want is this, but you might get this. I don't know. Really hard to tell here, but dominance does not weigh in favor of this. This is a nice little 4 hour candle. See what the daily looks like. Potentially a really nice daily candle. If it closes like this could be heading back up, which would be more of an indication that Bitcoin might be done moving. If we start to think alts look good, Bitcoin might be ready to chill here for a while. I'd be perfectly fine if Bitcoin consolidated under the 42K in the 40 to 42 range for a push. That to me would be pretty bullish. ETH on the USD pair, this chart is trash. I don't care about that. Actually, it's breaking resistance today, potentially. 4 hours, dumb. Yeah, I mean, this could be meaningful. This is crappy volume. Not even as much as the weekend days yet, but that was a candle that showed indecision, a little doji or spinning top, I think would be more accurate. And then bullish follow through engulfing this. So that is a bullish trend reversal in theory. So maybe we see a retest of the 29.13 area here on ETH USD heading up, and then see what happens from thence. Where shalleth we goeth the fifth? So ETH doesn't look that bad. Could have bottomed here, but it's choose your poison. If ETH is going to look good, then Bitcoin's probably going to range and not continue the pump. Is BNB next? Okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're not going to chart Tether because it's boring. Looks like that. I don't know what that's all about. Finance coin. BNB. By the way, these are all old lines from last week, so sometimes I like to reevaluate. I mean, these were pretty aggressive sell-offs. Now we had this inverse head and shoulders that played out beautifully. And then the drop happens. So I think this is relevant now. We kind of had that pattern across altcoins for a long time. Just look at this on the daily or the 4 hour. I'm going to look at it on the 4 hour, but it's going to be that same sort of zone. This is actually a really nice bottom-ish kind of area, right? And the daily, you'll see, I don't think it's there, but you draw it off, it would be bigger off this candle, but same concept. So from here to here. if you're looking at the 4 hour, that is demand. You would expect to see significant resistance through here, right? This whole area, whatever. From there up to here on the way back up, if it's going to go up. And, you know, maybe you can draw a trend line like that or something like that. But this is a good place to bounce. Like this is where you would have bid if you were looking for a knife catch. Just know that your upside might be capped to a 5% move back up to here. Then you got to see. So you're getting to here, and then you're going to expect to get rejected. So maybe you get like that, and you go up. That's what you're hoping for. You know, below that, I would say, you know, if it keeps dropping, maybe you look for a little sweep of that, and then you head up. Something like that. That's what you usually get. But it doesn't look bad. Yet again, a lot of these 4 hour candles on alts are nice little hammers, reversals, and they're seeing follow through for now. Maybe Bitcoin's done for the moment. That was if it was breaking the range, which it has not. Erase everything from these charts. Listen, most chart ideas end up being bad. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Don't you believe them? I can play that on the piano. Also sampled by Tupac. And changes. I see no changes. All I see is racist faces. Anybody know who sings That's Just the Way It Is? You should. My wife says that Chris Brown is forgivable, the others are not. But is that like historic? I mean, I guess he like hit somebody, so maybe it's different than like doing sexual things with underage people, which is bad. I think Chris Brown definitely is whatever. But also like right now on the radio, Chris Brown is on every single song, period. So why did your comment get deleted? I didn't delete your comment. I'll delete comments. I'm trying to see what's happening. All right. Binance coin, BNB. You got to get above this. So I would say that BNB objectively is ranging locally from here to here. Look at that EQ. Boom. Look at all that support die. So you want to get above these, both of the, like this whole area is going to be resistance, as you can see. So you're looking for like that. But you're at resistance, so you're more likely to get that, right? Oh, this is, what did I do? Okay, ignore me. Ignore me. That's not the EQ of that range. You got to pull that down here. That would have been cool, though, because it made a lot more sense. This is. And we're right at it right now. So that almost lines up with this. Might actually hold the top of it, which means you would expect a trip to the top if it can flip this EQ right here. So you want to get above 372 or 369, really get above that 376-ish level, and then we can head to the top. I mean, everything looks fine. It's just chopping sideways. More sideways chop. More sideways chop. Let's see what the daily looks like. Same. No excitement. Nothing to be excited about here on alts. Maybe they're reversing, but not exciting. ADA, see, you didn't get the trade. It never got above there. I said, if it's going to be bullish, you have to get above there. It didn't happen. You would have never entered. All of this looks bad. I'm going to erase some of these lines at this point. It's daily. Oh man, here, look, let's simplify all of this. Don't need any of this. Just draw a range. Right? I mean, you could draw some kind of weird pennant, but it kind of broke down. Like technically, if you're going to draw a pennant, you can draw it wide like this now. You know? Cool. But the real line you would have drawn would have been there, and that's already been rejected. So like if you want to draw a pennant, you're going to get this weird sort of misshapen thing. Doesn't look good. I think it's just chopping sideways in a range here. Yeah, I mean, nothing to see. These are just like boring. This is no volume. Like that is dead. I don't know why I'm charting it on Bittrex though, but Let me close some. I don't know why I just closed that. Whatever. But on the USDT pair, you have a breakout and retest. That's just because Bitcoin's going up, right? But you'd rather be in Bitcoin in this scenario, I think. Daily. I'll look at it on the 4-hour. So you had this breakout, didn't do much, kind of rejected in this area, but now you are breaking out here and retesting, and you had a nice little candle there. Technically, ADA USDT here looks bullish to me, but you got resistance here. You got resistance here. You got resistance all through here. Still a tough trade to take, in my opinion. I'm going to come back over here to the comments, see what you guys are talking about. Could we hear what you think of SHIB now? I don't. I've never thought of SHIB except for to make fun of it. And I'm sorry, that's not mean about your coin. I know people are passionate about it, but it's a joke that was created on top of another joke. No real reason to look at it. Bruce Hornsby is the man. Bruce Hornsby and the range. Bruce Hornsby and the range. He's an encyclopedia. I assume she's, Scott, how do you know so much? You're like a book of knowledge. And my wife has said he's an encyclopedia. Dumb quotes stick in my brain. I should have been on Jeopardy. Not as much anymore, though. I'm getting dumber and more forgetful in my old age. Which is sad. I mean, Doge, guess we could call having had this a breakout. So it's coming back to retest out of support. That's kind of cool. And then you have this sort of resistance here locally. But I mean, look at the volume on Doge. My goodness. Non-existent. Let's look at USDT. Nobody's trading it on the Bitcoin pair anymore. I mean, this is just chopping sideways, right? Song lyrics and movie quotes, I just remember. It's just the way my brain is programmed. This is what Doge is doing. Broke bottom, you got to get above at least 36 cents to care, and that takes you to 44. But right now, low volume nonsense. Nobody's trading Doge. It's just a fact. When it was exciting, this is the kind of candles you were seeing. Now it's down here. The world has forgotten. I'm sorry. I did call the top of this one. Just saying. This is one of those that I actually called the top on. But Doge, I mean, why? Why would you care right now? XRP, that's interesting. I haven't looked at any of these, by the way. But that's okay. That's interesting. This is a good trade. I'm not saying... Now, let's talk about what makes a good trade. Is a good trade one where you make money? No. A good trade is one where you have a justification for a stop loss that's tight so you don't lose much money when you're inevitably wrong. You're supposed to be wrong. So like putting a stop down here or something like this, you know, sending resistance, you got 1, 2, there's a third tap. So it's invalidated so easily. Maybe you move it down just in case you get a wick. You know, 10%, that's only 10% of a drop. But your upside here is, I don't know, if this is at the bottom, which probably isn't, but like here's your trade, right? Put your stop here-ish. I don't know, your target is... I mean, your target is the highs, but I would say maybe here, right? You have resistance. That's a 5.35 risk reward ratio. If you put your stop here, right? It's a good trade. It's a good trade. It's a good trade. So if you were going to trade this, how would you do it? Say you wanted to market buy, which you never do, but say you wanted to market buy at 22.38. You set your stop here at like 2023, and maybe you go right below 2, you know, go below that psychological level in 1996. So you figure out, you calculate what your loss is going to be, how much you're willing to lose. That should be, let's call it 1% of your portfolio. That's how you determine your position size. Real easy. Really easy. So your position size is not the first thing you do. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to just bet 10 grand on this. Makes no sense. You got to know where your stop is so that you know how much you can afford to bet. I'm going to call it bet to know how much you can afford to lose. And if you want to get aggressive, you can say, hey, we've got a 9.26 risk reward ratio. It's pretty aggressive though. I mean, that's all the way to the recent highs. Okay. I would say more reasonable targets are this area at 1.18, this area, and this area. So maybe somewhere around here to make sure you front run this line. But this is a nice trade setup because it's a small loss if you're willing to take it. Cool. XRP USD, nothing, just trading between these areas. Nothing has changed on most of these charts. Now, DOT, Coinbase listing. Coinbase listing. Everybody loves a good Coinbase listing pump. Maybe something like this. So you got to close out of there. That looks good. That looks good. Real volume. This is because of Coinbase listing. So, if the hype wears off, who knows? But that looks good. The trade on this is something like this. Ideally, if you didn't buy here already, what you end up getting is this, right? And then maybe it eventually kind of comes up. That's what you're looking for. And I would say your target of this, something like here, ultimately this is your target over that breakout, but more realistic target is going to be something through here, right? Just kind of obviously like that's a very key level. It's a big move though, 61 to 73. Nice move. Nice move. So that's your theoretical target. That looks good. Let's look at it on the USDT pair. Yeah, I think now you can adjust that. Really nice. Nice move. Increasing volume on the breakout. I would target $31.288. Pretty straightforward. Back to the chat. You guys just asking for a bunch of stuff. Just you guys asking for a bunch of stuff. What did the buffalo say to its son when he left? Bye, son. That's a good dad joke. Up there with, what do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. What do you call an elephant that has a baby with a rhinoceros? Elephino. My shirt says, "Hello, whiskey, my old friend." Emmy bought that for me. So that's cool. Useless knowledge. They're like, yes, I'm loaded with useless knowledge. Kind of my thing. So I'm just looking at your comments. Not much happening in your comments. Uni, boring. I don't know how I got Solana chart. That's not the top. Wait, Uni was 10. We're not going to look at these. Nobody cares. Let's look at Solana and Matic I have open for some reason. That's a nice potential reversal candle on Solana. Big hammer there. Little volume coming in, but yet again, now this you could consider a breakout probably. Nope. Rejection. So far. Got to close above that right there. Yeah, but that is a real nice flip of resistance to support. Yeah, if Solana breaks out here, you would be expecting a move back to the highs here, 0.00129 or so. So that looks pretty kind of all right. And USDT still needs to break out here. Kind of the same thing. Let's look at Matic. I mean, Matic has been like single-handedly trying to hold up my portfolio for weeks. Bought this around 6 cents. So that's pretty cool. But no, that's kind of a key level, I guess. Say more like, I don't know. This is a nice little move by Matic today, but I'm not seeing much to like get super pumped about. I think, that looks good. Big, symmetrical triangle. I wouldn't call it a bull pennant. It's a little big considering the size of the flagpole, but you choose a direction based on which way that breaks. That's how I would look at Matic. Coming back over to the comments. Any hearing problems from loud music over the years? Tinnitus. So I started having a little bit of tinnitus in like 2002, and my brother is a ear, nose, and throat doctor, an ear surgeon. And he got me fitted with musicians' ear molds, which I've redone over the years, but I wear them everywhere. Anytime I go out, even if I go to a relatively loud bar or something, I wear them. So I kind of saved my ears. What do you call a one-eyed dinosaur? Do you think Thinkosaurus? Do you think he saw us? Do you think he saw us? That's funny. That's funny. Do you think he saw us? It took me a minute to get there. Not on top of my game. People that are 100% fiat are gambling addicts at this rate. I mean, I think that's an overstatement, but yeah, if you don't own, if you're just hoarding cash and don't own any assets, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. Because, I mean, inflation, the whole point of inflation is that it also inflates the price of assets. That's why it disproportionately helps people who have the money to buy assets and disproportionately hurts the people who are just buying or living check to check. Bueller. I think I saw today or something the other day that that movie came out 35 years ago. That makes me feel so old. Do you think there will be a long squeeze? I haven't looked at funding rates, but I don't think they're that high. But it's definitely possible. That would send price down. I don't know if longs have stacked high enough for that to be the case. I did Sol. Let me look at Link because that is next, I believe. I skipped it. And then we're up to 15. So here, let me look at Link. But I have a feeling you're going to be very bored with this chart. When's the last? Oh, wrong button. I use the wrong button. Link's bouncing off support. Could be a little bear flaggy, but that's I kind of like that. Let's go drill it in. So it's bouncing off support. And I mean, it is a little bear flaggy. You know, consolidation just above support usually leads to a breakdown. But that might not be the case here. You could almost draw this as an ascending triangle. Might be more accurate. Let's look at the daily again. I mean, these are nice candles in theory. You can tell every single one has closed at 0.60933 or has it closed or opened. You got to get above that. So let's just forget that. Here's your story, right? But you want to consolidate up against that and break above, and then you can start talking about these higher sort of areas. I'm not saying these lines are bad. I'm just saying I don't care about them anymore. But there's a nice 1, 2, 3. That one dipped through. 4, 5, 6 candles have held the support so far. It ain't getting, yeah, I mean, that doesn't look that bad on the Bitcoin pair. Let's look at it on the USDT pair. Now, this is the other day I was saying if it went down, that's what you'd look for. But really, you want a break of this line, which it looks like it's approaching. So it did hold this kind of area of support. I would be looking for a break of that, knowing that you're going to find resistance here and ultimately up here. These are the highs. I mean, we're not far from Link's all-time highs. When you look at a chart logarithmically, we're far in price. We have to more than double. But when you look at the history of Link, I mean, this is a blip, right? Logarithmically, meaning on a percentage basis, not an absolute basis. I always use log charts. So I would say a break of that, and then we can talk. See if Bitcoin's holding still, not even holding 40 at the moment. But the chart I want to keep open. So yeah, there's that. No, I've never heard of Solanax. Yeah, what do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea. Still no idea because it's still without the legs. What time do you go to the dentist? 2:30. Can you please cover MTV, like the network that used to play awesome music videos and then became a shitty reality TV show network? I don't know what that is, unless you're talking about literally that. Long seemed to be at an all-time high. I haven't seen that. I didn't know that. I thought shorts were stacking on Bitfinex as of the weekend, not longs, but I could be wrong. Well, there was just a comment I missed. Where'd it go? What do you think of Ethereum? I think it's awesome. I'm a huge fan of Ethereum. I've been dollar cost averaging into Ethereum since like dinosaurs walked the planet, probably, and people rode them if you believe in certain religious sects. The Earth, if the Earth's only 6,000 years old, but we know there were dinosaurs, then people must have ridden dinosaurs when they hunted mammoth, bison, rats. Woo! People believe some wild stuff. I happen to believe in evolution and that dinosaurs lived, millions of years ago. And they were not ridden by humans, but whatever. Yeah, I think it was shorts that were stacking, not longs that were stacking, at least on Bitfinex. I don't know. But maybe I am incorrect. I've never heard of Pulse Chain, but guys, I love Ethereum. I think Bitcoin has sort of solidified itself as investing in gold, right? Digital gold. And I think that Ethereum is like investing in the internet in the early days, but it's an internet of value rather than an internet of information. Obviously, we know what it's like to pass information back and forth quickly with no centralized party. That's the internet. Ethereum allows you to do that, but with value, with money, right? Direct transactions with no third party, instantaneous, all those things. So I understand maximalism. I think maximalists are great because they really they're the drivers of the underlying projects. But I don't see a reason personally to be a maximalist. It's like saying if you invest in Amazon, you can't invest in Apple or something. I don't know. Or if you buy gold, don't invest in Google, right? I just think they're completely separate. The only similarity is that they're cryptocurrencies, right? The platforms. But to me, I just believe, Darwin, exactly. So I just believe that you can invest in both. How much money you lost either on crypto or trading? I've not lost money. I've made a lot of money on those things. Yeah, I talked about this at the beginning. Goldman to offer Ethereum to its clients. See, there you go. Ethereum. What do you think about ICP? I don't. I think it's only gone down. Wasn't it one of these top market caps just a few days ago? It was 12. Let me look at ICP because the chart is laughable and I had never even heard of it and it's just gone down. That's an embarrassing chart. Okay, I'm sure it will reverse. It might be reversing here actually, but it's a terrible chart. I don't know. Maybe if it breaks, holds above that and goes above, but why? Nothing. It literally has only gone down in its history. So yeah, I'm not too passionate about ICP there personally. What's your win rate approximately? I barely trade anymore, but I would say at my best, my win rate was just above 50%, pushing 60. And most of my career, my win rate was, 50 or slightly below, but with good risk management, that makes for huge wins. Because in crypto, you can take a 1% portfolio loss and your next trade can do a 10x in a day. That's going to account for literally your next 1,000 trades losing 1%, or not 1,000, but you know what I mean? So no, I don't think, I think even Peter Brandt today said that his historical hit rate as one of the greatest traders of all time was 50%. Charts and trades are guesses. They are guesses. We're just guessing. The only reason to use a chart and the only reason to trade is to plan how you're going to lose a tiny little bit of money on a trade. People suck at trading because they refuse to take a loss because they don't like being wrong. That's the reason. Yes, ICP, Insane Clown Posse token. Cool. I like Insane Clown Posse kind of. I just looked at DOT a little while ago, but I love the platform. I know nothing about multivac. I'm sorry. And I know very little about ICP or Gitcoin or any of these things you guys are asking about. No idea. Absolutely no idea. But yeah, win rate. Win rate is a misleading metric because it doesn't matter a percentage of trades that you win or lose. It matters how much you win on the winning trades and how much you lose on the losing trades. That's what matters. I'm a huge fan of Elron and eGold. I have not looked at the chart, but I mean, I've had Benjamin Minshew on my podcast. I've had him on a live stream. I absolutely love them. I believe in the project, and we're near the range lows here. So Again, could be consolidation and drop, but anything that, as long as it holds that, looks good. On the USDT pair, I would say, God, it's cheap. Feels cheap. This would be the way to objectively look at it. So you got to get above the mid-range. Nice sweep here. I liked it above like $96 again for a target of 123. I would say that's objectively a fair view, even from a homer like myself who loves the project. I've not looked at Mina the coin, but I love the project. I had their CEO on my podcast. It absolutely blew my mind what they're doing. And, it's just a really important, incredible project. Already looked at Polygon. If you had to give some advice about crypto, what would it be, bro? I mean, it really depends on where you are in your journey into crypto. Like if you're starting completely fresh, I would say first, do a bunch of research, see if it's for you, try to understand it, then slowly dollar cost average into Bitcoin. If you get comfortable with that, start to slowly add Ethereum, and beyond that, then you can start thinking about trading or adding other coins. But I really believe that this is the future. So getting your money into it and not touching it is very important now, but you'll probably trade it away, which is not good. Buy low, sell high is a good strategy, but what's underrated is buy high, sell higher. Doesn't matter if you buy it low, it just matters if you sell it higher than you bought it, right? Yeah, dot trading on Coinbase Pro is really cool. I'm excited about that too. I think that took way too long. Way too long. What's your opinion on NFT, like the coin, or on NFTs in general? I'm very bullish on NFTs and their use cases. That's right. Just hold and buy more. Buy what you can afford to lose. Nobody can afford to lose, by the way. That's such a meme. Only invest what you can afford to lose. Most people cannot afford to lose their money. But so invest enough that you can, I think it'd be more fair to say, invest what you can afford to not spend immediately. Like, I can't necessarily afford to lose it, but maybe I can put enough in that I can hold it for a year or two, and I'm not going to immediately have to cash it out. I think that makes a lot more sense. Yes, you can zoom, you can scroll back for ADA. I think Taproot, I haven't dug that deeply into it, but I think it's generally bullish. When all the miners signal support for something that's going to improve the network, that should generally be viewed as a good thing, I would say. Look at Rune. I haven't looked at Rune in a while. I'll look at Rune. Eric Voorhees got me super stoked about this. And you guys know, like, I love Atom, and I work with the Atom community on my live stream and podcast. And that's all built. Thorchain is built all on that. I would say that here's your story for Rune right now. All these lines are still relevant. Maybe this one goes to here now. I think that's fair. But yeah, you need to break this. If that gets rejected, like something like this, I would look for one of these. Like sweep these lows right here. I would love to buy that just below $6. Not saying that'll happen. What you're watching for actually is this, but that would be sweet. On the Bitcoin pair, dude, that just swept that's pretty nice. That looked like an ascending triangle that's breaking out, but now it looks like an ascending wedge. This is tough. So regardless of what pattern forms here, this is now your support. So you don't want to be below that. Down, up, down. Okay. So listen, my bias would actually be like that. This is an ascending triangle type thing, and you get it here, which is now retesting, but you could also be this, ascending wedge and come down. All that matters there then is the support. Whatever the pattern is, you need to make sure it holds the support, and you're going to find resistance right here. So there's not that much upside on this trade right now. And then here. If you do believe this is an ascending triangle and is a retest, then this is your target, which is not that massive of a trade. But that does get you through this and up to this area. 0.225. It's only a 10, just to 12 something % move. Not really huge. But it is nice that it's holding this major area of support right here. So that is what you want to see. This could be reversing. Just really hard to get excited about buying here. Let me see something. I mean, if we call this whole move this, say this move started here. Let's extend those. All right, that's pretty compelling. Right? It's pretty sizable retrace. You could even call it here, but I think this move really started here. So these are Fibonacci retracements back. This whole area right here is a golden pocket. Now it's resistance, unfortunately, but that's a pretty significant retrace, and it did it twice. Here. If you get up above this level, you'd have a double bottom. You have to get between the swing high of these two lows. So you can't talk double bottom until you're all the way up here, which is almost doubling. So that's useless. But yeah, that's the general view of Rune, I would say. A coin called SMGM just got billboards in NYC. Check it out, Smegmars. I will not be checking that out. I did just see that Kim Kardashian in either her fleets or her Instagram stories or something was pushing a super low cap Ethereum something. Kim Kardashian, man. Crazy. Hey, Scott, for improving memory, try these natural supplements, ginkgo biloba, bacopa monnieri, and Redio rosea for more focus and energy. Tried and tested. That's a great idea, but I forgot what you just wrote. Sorry. NFTs, I'm very, very, very bullish on NFTs. I think they're the future of art and ownership, and they have proven scarcity, and that there's going to be way more use cases than just digital collectibles and art, which is what nobody talks about. Like, there's no reason that my car title should not be an NFT that I transfer directly to you when I sell the car and don't have to call the title agency. A tokenized stock is an NFT. We don't need a clearinghouse in between. I just sell you my stock and you buy it. That's how this is all going to get done. I did XRP. Looking back here, still forgot. Ginkgo biloba, that's what he said. DCA and HODL versus active trading, do they end up paying same returns? 95% of traders fail, and more than 95% underperform the market. So in the case of stocks, if you're a trader, there's a 95% chance that just literally buying an index fund would beat your trading. And so compound that into crypto, where Bitcoin is the market. Let's call Bitcoin the market, where you could just buy and hold Bitcoin. You're probably trading, you're going to end up with less Bitcoin. And if you trade alt, you'll probably end up with less Bitcoin. So buying and holding outperforms for most people, probably 95% of the time trading. Probably. Do you think miners leaving China is bullish for crypto? Yes, I do. I think that's one of those short-term pain, long-term gain kind of things. Because for a few reasons. So one, we don't want all the mining centralized in one country, especially a communist country. I think that's pretty clear, and it's been over 50% of the mining there for a long time. So, spreading the mining out around the world is bullish for the more decentralized structure for mining. Two is that until now, China is now cracking down on the environmental effects for their own reasons that probably have nothing to do with Bitcoin. But that means that we'll see more of the mining moving to renewables and to miners that take green Bitcoin more seriously, which means North America getting more hash rate and more of the miners that are using wind and solar and such, and and the runoff from oil, excess energy. And then the compounding effect of that is that we have the Elon Musks and institutions of the world who are now wary of it because of the environmental issues. Once we see that conversion to the cleaner, that's when we will see a lot of the renewed interest, I think, in institutional investment, and therefore, whatever. So yeah, the Bitcoin is dumping. It's at 39,007 something, and it started the day at 38,826. I wouldn't say it's dumping. Actually, like if I'm looking at the 4-hour, I was doing here. No, that's not it. I would say it's sort of retesting this area, right? Listen, if you're like going to just draw little supply and demand, you would expect price to test this, right? come back, test the top of it, head up. But right now we're in this supply zone. Now we did see this exact same thing here. So that I would be wary of that. Look at that. This one got a little higher, but that did head down and break down and go. So we need to start holding these, and I would like to really see it close above this red line, the 200 MA. But I wouldn't say it's dumping. I think that's a bit dramatic. Do you know anything about Stellar? Only a little bit. Man, you guys have asked for my thoughts on EOS a lot. I don't really have thoughts on EOS. They raised gajillions and billions and billions and billions of dollars and never did that much. But also, isn't there the huge like $40 billion investment or something in an exchange that's going to be built on EOS? So that seems good. But yeah, guys, Bitcoin has to go down sometimes, get a retest to go up. That's how you retest support. It's a thing. It's important. You got to do that. And so what else do we got here? I've got a couple more minutes, guys, if you have any more questions. I have basically been live streaming all day, it feels like. Bitcoin Cash, I have no thoughts. If you have it in your portfolio, I have no idea, dude. No idea. I have no thoughts on Theta and T-Fuel, really. I did meet the guys from Theta at a club in Miami, though. That's cool. Theta is a very cool project. I just have never dug into it that deeply. So let me see really quick here. Wyckoff accumulation almost done. That's possible. Listen, everyone was talking about the Wyckoff distribution up top. That's likely was the case. And now this does look like Wyckoff accumulation, right? With the spring here. Now jump over that creek and head up. But we got to get out above these to end the Wyckoff accumulation. But if you're a Wyckofian, that's how you're looking at this. You're looking at this as likely to go up and not go down, I would say. Thanks so much for all this, Mr. Melker. You are welcome, Bart9569051. Is that your phone number? No, that wouldn't work. Thoughts on 1 inch is that not enough to please a woman. I talked about my thoughts on the death cross on the daily earlier. I can rehash that very briefly, but bottom line, first of all, it may not happen. 50 is turning up right now. Second of all, the 50 is coming down because of all of this. It's not predicting anything. But yes, you can already see the 200 is acting as resistance today. But no, not something that I personally am particularly worried about. Today or yesterday, Plan B said he still thinks 288. 288 on stock to flow X. So I think that is possible. Hey, man, would you mind checking out Adam if you get a second? Sure. Got a few minutes here. It's at support. That's the best I can say for it. It's in this demand zone. So if you're trading it on the Bitcoin pair, there's a decent shot, but it's already broken through twice. So I don't know how strong the support is at this point. Otherwise, you're looking from that perspective. Let's see. If this doesn't hold, you'd be looking to buy down here. If it does hold, I would say, yeah, I mean, that's your target right up here. See if it has a little bit of bullish divergence. Definitely possible here. No, that closed slightly lower just like that, unfortunately. Let me look it on the USD pair. I mean, every chart got broken. Struggling here at the 50 MA on the 4 hour, obviously. Look at that. No bullish divergence. I mean, to be honest, this would be your view, even though this broke down. I would say you pull a range from here, 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 and here. Yeah, right. This is the low and then the high after that low. I think this was put in before that dropped. So you're right at the EQ. So what you want to see, you got to get above here, right? And look how strong this has been. There's resistance. So you got to get above that. And then you can start talking about a test of the range highs. Right now it's resistance. So you're more likely to hit the range lows and the range highs. So you got to wait until that flips. Otherwise you're buying right into resistance, which is never a great idea. I talked about Bitcoin dominance a bit earlier. Talked about Link a bit earlier. Talked about Sol a bit earlier. Best resource for learning to read charts. There's a million resources online, YouTube, Investopedia, Baby Pips. Personally, I like, and it's in the description, Texas West Capital. He was my mentor, and I learned so much about trading from him, and he has a full course. I think it's howtotradetowin.com. It's in the description. It's where I learned. It's not a shill. It's where I learned. That's why I put it in there. So I want you guys to learn as well. I am generally bullish on Mina. Yes, I think it's an incredible project, but I've already said that like 3 times. I have not listened to Bruce Hornsby's latest music. Is it good? Good. Is it good? I do a bit of staking, for sure. I also just hold a lot of coins on interest-bearing platforms like Voyager, BlockFi, Nexo, Celsius, etc. But I do have coins. I've been staking PNT since like the very, 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 very beginning, and a few other things. I like staking. Barry just tweeted everything is overpriced. Was he talking about crypto, or did that really happen? That guy. I don't know what Occam is unless we're talking about the guy and his razor. I know what Occam's razor. 1inch cryptocurrency. I have no thoughts. It's a cool platform. It just has a dumb name. I cannot speak I can't tell you what's going to work for any specific platform. I use Celsius and I like it with a small part of my portfolio. 99% of crypto is probably overpriced. That's not unfair because most things will be gone eventually, right? We have like 10,000 coins. We need like 100. So yeah, maybe they are. Maybe a lot of them will go to zero. Who knows? Thoughts on I agree that we're still ranging between 42 and 31. So I don't really know what's going to happen here. I know that we need to get out of this range. So, there's no reason to get super overly bullish yet. Every coin depends on Bitcoin to some degree. It's just the nature of the market. Yeah, guys, I got to run. I do have to run. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I'll have more videos tomorrow, another live stream on Wednesday. If you guys have not checked it out, I do have a newsletter. It's down in the description. Sign up or don't. But I put it out 5 days a week, and it's pretty awesome, I think. And my subscribers seem to think so as well. Always fun hanging out with you guys, talking a bunch of smack, talking about R. Kelly, Chris Brown. But until next time, appreciate you guys. Peace.
Let's go.